I go around and I go around and I go around, I go around. I'm always out, I am always out, I am always out, I'm always out. I keep running so I don't have to go.
I have never filmed a video from this angle, so please bear with me. I tried to do the best that I could with the lighting, so it can either be great or it can be horrid, and we're only gonna find out when I put this footage to edit. But anyways, if you're new here, my name's Mila. I make everything from lifestyle, bookish, and what do I do? And post-grad content. Oh my god. If any of that sounds fun, definitely do not hesitate to hit the subscribe button down below so you're notified when I post. You can join our little family. Today, obviously, it's the start of 2026. I figured let's talk about all the books that I read in 2025. So unfortunately, I was not able to reach my reading goal, but it was also a crazy year, you know, I graduated and basically my entire February, March, April, I didn't have time to read anything, so I was so focused on school. So still having 45 books, I'm super proud of myself, and I did not really read that much over the summer because so much was happening, especially the month of mid-June to mid-July. There was so much going on that I don't think I picked up a single book. The book I started reading maybe June 5th was the same book that I was reading up until August. And then I did travel in November, so I only brought one book on my trip with me, but I didn't finish it because it was a classic. It was heavier. So basically for maybe 5 months of the year, I didn't pick up a single book where I read very few books. So still having 45, I'm so proud of myself. I'm so happy that I think I would even get to 45 books. No, so we love that. Yes, sure, you know, we want to read a lot and we want to reach our goals. Just because other people read 100 books per year doesn't mean that you have to. And don't feel discouraged if you see that you cannot reach your goal in future years, because what's realistic to someone isn't realistic to the other person. I just wanted to say that now, because is this annoying? So I actually just did not want to take any risk. I just moved my camera. It's an angle that you guys know, that you're used to. It's an angle that I know works out well. I would have liked for us to see all the books as I go through them, but whatever, it's fine. You know, we started off the video with it. We have it in a thumbnail. That's all that matters. And if you don't see the books while I pull them, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. So first book, we have Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo. This is the second book in the Alex Stern series. I love Ninth House so much. I was so excited to read this. And this also 5-star. And guys, 2026, we have the third book coming out. I think it comes out in basically September 1st. This book, we have dark academia, we have cult, we have magic, all the good vibes. We have it. I'm trying to figure out where I hold it because I do have my ring light. I feel if I hold it slightly slanted, I feel this does work. So yes, Hellbent, 5 stars. Love the entire series and cannot wait for book 3. After that, we actually kind of went down. So we started off the year super well with 5 stars, and then we have a 3.5 star rating, which is Vow of Faves. Oh god, I hope you guys can see. Vow of Faves by Mary E. Pearson. So this is the second book in the Dance of Thieves duology. It wasn't the best. It honestly was not the best. Mary E. Pearson also wrote the Remnant Chronicles, and I did generally enjoy that, but I did feel the story kind of dragged on a lot. So I was I do want to read this other series because people are talking about it. People are people seem to like it. So I was okay, probably I would like it too. But I don't know, it wasn't for me. I don't know if it's just because I read the first book at a time where I shouldn't have read it, because I read it during the summer, and I was maybe that's why I didn't connect to the characters. Both of the books weren't giving me what I thought that I would get. And again, I did really enjoy the Remnant Chronicles, and this is this is kind of the sequel, I guess you can say, where it's it follows another character after the events of the first book. So I was okay, you know, I know this character, I like this character, I'm gonna like it. I honestly think if you want a little fantasy duology, there's probably better out there. 3.5 is not bad. I feel it's a very fair rating, but once again, there is a better out there. After that, we went back up to a 5 star, and we have Twisted Lies by Anna Huang. Guys, I did not think that I could find a book in the Twisted series that was better than Twisted Games. I literally told anyone who would listen to me, Twisted Games is the best thing ever. It's so good. Bridget and Reese have my entire heart. Stella and Christian, I love them so much. I genuinely could not tell you which book I like more. They were both 5 stars. They were both so good, so perfect, and it's just reading this and being I'm done with this series. I don't believe it, but then I know that, I forget his name, but we see one of Christian's I wouldn't call him a friend, but Christian's maybe a business partner, client, whatever. Was it Dante? I don't know if his name is Dante, but it's the guy from King of Greed. I don't know, the first book in that series, that follows that guy. So I do not know if I'd see these characters again in that series, but it felt so sad like leaving them behind. But I'm also like, I'm so happy that I finally read Twisted Lies. It was just such a perfect series. 5 stars. Amazing. After that, I finished the A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series by reading As Good as Dead. So this book, oh my god, everyone said that it was like a very surprising book. So, you know, I went in knowing that something was going to happen, that it'd be like, oh my god, like what is going on? And I don't know if people were crying, but people were getting emotional. So I was very confused. Like I went in thinking something, which I feel like was very realistic, and that isn't exactly what happened, but it kind of happened. And then what actually happened, I was like, even though I was kind of expecting it, I guess, I was in shock, and I really liked it. I really liked this book up until the end, where I was like, I don't like the ending. I was so undecided. I think I was going to rate this 4.5 stars, but then because of the ending, I bumped it down to a 4.25 because it was so good. It was so perfect. I love A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Good Girl, Bad Blood, meh, not my fave, but this book I loved. I was so ready to give it a 5 star. I was like, this is great. I'm starting off the year with like 3 5-star books, but that ending, yeah, sure, how could she have ended the book? I do not know. My guess is as good as yours on how it could have been different, but I wasn't a fan of it, and unfortunately the rating of the book did suffer. Still great, so much 5-star potential, but I feel like 4.5 is still like very, very fair. After that, I read the last 2 books in the Addicted Sisters series. So I read Thrive, and then I also read Addicted After All. I brought out like maybe like 2 weeks ago my part 2 of reading the Addicted Calloway Sister series, where I read Thrive, Addicted for Now, and then you're gonna see later we have Fuel the Fire, Long Way Down, and Some Kind of Perfect. I'm not gonna talk too much about it here, obviously, because I don't like go in depth about like every single book, but definitely if you're interested in my thoughts on this entire series, go check out that video. You know, some books I like, some books I didn't like. I think both these books I rated like maybe 3.5 stars because it felt more like a summary book from what's it called, Kiss the Sky and Hot House Flower, which yeah, that's, you know, that's what it is, and you're seeing this like same story from someone else's point of view. So I feel like that's why I was like, I'm not really like vibing with it that much. Also, it's Lily and Lowen. I just learned that Lillian, like, I do like them as a couple, but they are my least favorite couple. They, for lack of a better word, they kind of annoy me at times, and I just don't like being in their head in the most respectful way possible. I don't like being in your head. I'd rather be in Rose, Connor, Daisy, or Reich's head. But Lily, I mean, even like, I like Lily, but Lily's the one that kind of annoys me. I am so sorry to say that for anyone who loves Lily. But yeah, so I kind of knew going in that these weren't gonna be like super highly rated, but I still think this series is so worth it because I genuinely loved it so much. Next, I guess we're going to this pile. I read Things I Wanted to Say by Monica Murphy. So this is the first book. I don't know what the series is called, but I don't know it was a series. I thought these were all like standalones. But this is the second book, well, first book in the series. The second book is A Million Kisses in Your Lifetime. And you know, I like that book. So I was like, you know what, it's a series, let me read the other books in the series. I'm kind of disappointed because the covers are so pretty that I was like, I would love to read the rest of the books in the series, but I don't really have an interest for it. Like, I think I rated this 3.75, which was generous. I feel like, you see it was kind of long. It didn't need to be that long. Like, I still had fun, but I was like, you know, I didn't have enough fun to be like, I can justify buying the other 3 books, even though they do seem interesting, even though the covers are absolutely gorgeous, because I'm gonna feel like resentment, or like not resentment, but like dread. I'm gonna be like, oh my god, it's like, I don't want to read this, but I'm forcing myself to read it, and it's just not gonna be enjoyable, you know? After that, we have another 5-star. Oh my god, I read the first book in the series, and it was great. I loved it, but it wasn't everything. I didn't like love it. I just like really liked it. So I think I rated the first book maybe like 4.25 stars. Then I read Stolen Air. Oh my god, 5 stars. I need to tell you a little anecdote about this book. So I love reading romance books with a playlist attached to it, and with this there was, one, Sophie Lark, I don't know if I can find it. We have pictures. I hope you guys can see it. We have pictures. Like, she does put a playlist, and then she would tell you when to listen to certain songs. And oh my god, guys, there was this like a dance scene where Miko sees Nessa practicing music, and he's like, oh, dance with me, and they dance, and it's this like classical song called, I think, Satin Birds. Let me try to find an example. I can't find it for now, but yeah, it's like she tells you like, listen to the song at this point. Oh my god, this song, I'm obsessed with it. That every time time, like I actually save it to my Spotify. Every time this song comes on randomly in my shuffle, I think of these two dancing and I'm like, oh my god, I want that. I want that. 5 stars. I think, I don't know what the series is called. I think the Brutal Birthright series, that's what it's called. First book, Brutal Prince or Cruel. I think Brutal Prince, I could be wrong. Stolen Heir, I have Savage Lover, which is book 3 on my shelf. I don't have the other ones. I think it's a 6-book series. You follow like 2 families, the like Italian family and then the Irish family, and then Miko, he is, I don't know what it's called because I think Bratva is Russian, but it's like something close to it because he's Polish, he's not Russian, so it's not the Bratva. It's something that sounds like Bratva, but it's like different little crime mob families. Yeah, I don't know. So good, so good. I love it. After that, I read a book that I have been meaning to read for so long. I finally read The Love Hypothesis. Oh my god. Can I just say, I don't know when the movie's coming out. The Love Hypothesis was filmed at my school. I remember, so I was on like a different campus. I was on the downtown campus, but in the like campus that's more in like out of like downtown, that's where my friend was going. I think she was doing a summer class or something, and she was like, Mila, I just saw things of The Love Hypothesis. Unfortunately, I don't have any pictures to prove it to you, but guys, I swear to god, they are filming it. Well, they did film it at my school. I cannot wait until the movie comes out where I can see it and be like, oh my god, like I walked here, this is my school. I didn't have classes here because I was not in the like bio like science department. I was like the engineering department, but it's like, this is my school. 5 star. So good. Loved it. I feel like I don't even have to give you a snippet on what it's about because like everyone knows what it's about. So good. So good. After that, I read The Do-Over by Lynn Painter. So this was good. It's kind of like a Groundhog Day thing around Valentine's Day, so I liked the premise. I thought I should be like really excited. I think I rated this like 4 stars. Like it was good, but it wasn't like wow, it wasn't like revolutionary, but I do generally like Lynn Painter, so I'm super happy that I read this. And I was like, you have to read it Valentine's Day, you have to read it in February, because if not, you cannot read this in like April, November, December. You have to read it in February. So it's like, if I don't read it this February, I have to wait till February 2026. But I read it. Be proud, I read it. After that, I was like, you know what, I just need a big chunky fantasy series. So I started a series by Cassandra Clare. I read Lady Midnight. She's big, she's massive. Might as well talk about it now because they're super heavy. I can't really talk about one without talking about the other. Then I also read Lord of Shadows, Queen of Air and Darkness, that I'm planning to read by the end of this year. I don't know when I'm gonna get to it because again, these books are like massive and they're like actually really heavy, but I read these 2. So this follows the whole like Shadowhunter Academy world thing, the institute. We're in San Francisco now. So the Mortal Instruments was New York. We had the Infernal Devices, that was London. This is like present day San Francisco. It's set, I think, like either right after or a few years after the whole Mortal Instruments thing, because we see Clary, we see Jace, we see Magnus, Alex. I to my understanding, there was like some distance from actually I think it's like literally right after, because I don't want to spoil it, but like things happen, we talk about certain people, and I do feel like it was like right after. So it's basically the continuation of that. They're in San Francisco. We have the interference from the New York Institute that they come and help. We have the Fae, because one of the brothers and one of the sisters is like part Fae, part Shadowhunter, with the like accord after the war from the Mortal Instruments. There's like some discrimination, and then we have the Shadowhunters from like I think Mexico who come in, and I love them. I had so much fun reading this. Like you see a bit of like everyone. You see Tessa and Jem, and I love that so much. Like I'm generally really enjoying this. I was just like, I need a break before reading Queen of Air and Darkness because it's just so big, it's so chunky. Like I'm loving it. I think I rated both of these books like 3.5 stars. Great, love it. I feel like I love being in this like Shadowhunter world, but I feel like I cannot rate it more than 4 stars because just Clockwork Angel, Clockwork Prince, Clockwork Princess, I loved it so much. I feel like nothing can ever compare to that. I feel like Queen of Air and Darkness, it might go up to a 4 star, but I'm not expecting more than 4 stars. Doesn't mean I'm gonna stop buying Cassandra Clare books, like no. I just know going in that okay, it's not gonna be like revolutionary. I feel like because it's like really long, like I have no problem reading like long books, but I feel like it's her chapters are like 30 pages and they're big books, and I'm like, girl, like respectfully, it's a bit much. But besides that, I generally love Cassandra Clare. After that, I read a book that when I was like looking at my list of books that I read, I was like, I read this because I have no memory of reading Unforgettable by Willow Astor. I generally cannot tell you what it's about, what happened. I rated it 3.5 stars, so I think I generally enjoyed it. It's small town mountain. I was like, okay, I want a small town like in the winter that isn't Christmas, but I generally could not tell you what this book is about. But yeah, 3.5 stars, so I must have liked it. After that, I read a book that I decided to pick up initially because I saw that it was a Netflix show and I was like, okay, I want to read the book before watching the show. And that is The One by John Mars. I had no idea what to expect going in. I just knew that, okay, it's this like, I guess like science experiment where you have your like one true love, like your true match, and with DNA, like they find who your perfect match is. We follow, I'm not sure if it's 5 or 6 characters. I think it's 5. We follow 5 characters who are trying to like, just basically like living their life, either going to find their match, after living with their match, just like things around them finding their match, and then they all end up like meeting at some point, and this big, huge, dramatic thing happens. It was so good. It was so good. Everyone's like little story was so different. I was invested in all of them. All of them had like such crazy things, and it was so good. I genuinely really, really recommend. And I rated it 4.5 stars. After that, I was like, I need a little bit of like dark romance, So I read A Touch of Ruin by Scarlett St. Clair. So I have a friend who read A Touch of Darkness, and she was like, the first book was great, but then after that, I didn't really like it as much. The other books they didn't do it for me. It was like kind of bored, so I was so nervous going in. But honestly, A Touch of Darkness, like it was good, but I feel like I did kind of get bored at some point. Whereas A Touch of Ruin, I liked it so much more. I feel like the stakes were higher. I don't really remember the specifics because I did read this like I think in May. The whole like little plot with Persephone's friend, I really liked that. I was so invested. I generally think it was better. That's my personal opinion. But yeah, I was so scared, and I ended up rating it 4.25 stars. So obviously I did really enjoy it. So this book I think I read only one other book from this author, and I was so nervous going in because I was like, I do not know what to expect. And this author, like when I think about her, I think of like that one book that was a 5-star read. I loved it so much. It was like nothing can ever top it. So I was so scared going in, and I read The Simple Wild, and I actually ended up rating this 4.25 stars. And my big thing was like, is it the writing style that I liked in the other book? Is it like the storyline, the characters? But no, it was generally the writing style, because Kate Tucker, she just sucks you in. She gets you so invested. And honestly, if this story was written by someone else, I don't think I would have liked it as much. Like, not that the premise is bad, but just how she writes was so good. I love the characters. I cried. The romance was believable. I loved it. Oh my god, it was perfect. It was absolutely perfect. And do I kind of want to go to Alaska now? Yes. Do I want to fly in a Cessna? Absolutely not, because that seems absolutely terrifying. But I do want to go to Alaska. So Kate Tucker definitely did something right. I was in need of a sport romance. So after that, I read Jock Rule by Sarah Ney. So this is the second book in the Jock Hard series. Basically, how she writes her stories that I find super, super interesting. You basically have like these like kind of like frat parties, but parties at like the houses of the teams, right? So instead of like Greek row, you have like Jock row. So there's a party, and I feel like most start off like with a party where they meet at the party, where they know each other and they like cross paths at the party. But it's told like every single, I guess, like Friday or Saturday. So it's not like a normal timeline in the sense that it's like, okay, the next day and the next day. It's like told like one night every single week. And I find that so fun, so entertaining. Her books are relatively like short. Like, I don't think any of them are over like 400 pages. It's so fun to read. It's so fast. It's so easy. And there's there's 6 books. I think the first book was I think it was rugby. It was baseball. I also could be completely wrong. Was it? I don't know. But this second book, it's rugby. I don't know what the other books are, well, like what the team is for the other books, but I do want to read it because I generally love this, and the covers are just so cute. And this book, I rated it 3.75 stars. After that, I was like, what? I want to get back into the Addicted Calloway Sisters series. So I ended up reading Fuel the Fire, and I rated this 4 stars. I love being back in Rose and Connor's heads. How do I say this? Like, I love them as a couple. But I feel like their books are a little bit boring, because it's like, yes, they have their issues and you want to know like what they're going through, but it's like, I don't know if this is me being influenced by Some Kind of Perfect, where I genuinely was like, what is going on? But I feel like looking back now, it's like, yeah, I did enjoy it. I rated 4 stars, but I like saw signs that, okay, like, I'm not gonna be so in love later on in the series. I honestly do not remember exactly what happens in this book, because I read the whole entire second part of the series this year. That specifics I do not know, but I remember that same thing as Kiss the Sky. I was like so excited to be in their heads, but then when I finally got in their heads, I was like, I don't like that the story is just about one like, obviously, yeah, there's other things going on, but the main focus is one thing, and yes, it's a big important thing, but it's like once that thing happens, it's like constantly over and over and over again. It's like I don't want to read about that. Like maybe once or twice, sure, but it's like I don't want the entire story to be about that. My personal opinion, so I rated 4, but I was like, meh, I don't think I'm gonna find another 5. Like honestly, at that point I was like, I don't think I'm gonna find another 5-star in this series. Like Hot House Flowers ended, and not that it's gonna go downhill from here, but I was like, you know, manage your expectations. But guys, after that I read another 5-star read, The Maddest Obsession. Did I think that this book was gonna be 5 stars? Absolutely not. Oh my god, I do not remember the characters' names. I remember various vague plot points. I know that it was like years in the making. I feel like that's why I loved it. It was years in the making. You saw Gianna, like, okay, the girl, I remember her name, Gianna. The guy, honestly, I do not remember. Christian Alistair. Okay, Christian Alistair. Oh my god, guys. Okay, so the only reason why I picked up The Sweetest Oblivion was because I wanted to read The Maddest Obsession, and I was like, I cannot go into The Maddest Obsession without reading The Sweetest Oblivion. So I struggled through, I powered through, even though it put me in a reading slump, even though I was bored, even though I was like, I'm not really like, I don't want to read this, just so I can get to The Maddest Obsession. Perfection. The banter, just oh my god, I love it. I love it so much. 5 stars. 5 stars. I cannot wait for the 3rd book, because also the 3rd book, the main character is called Mila, and I actually don't know if the main character, well, no, my bad, if the 3rd book has a connection to the first 2, because the main character goes to Russia, so I don't know, but very excited for that. Then going off of the high of that, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna read The Final Gambit, close off the Inheritance Game series. I don't know, it's like, it's a good series, I generally love it, but nothing compares to the Inheritance games. I liked where the games went over here, right? I like how we ended up, but I didn't like the ending. I was like, you could have done, you had so much you could have done. Why are we doing this? Why is it this ending? It did not feel satisfying. It felt like I don't know, it's just, I didn't like it. I was like, you could have done so much more with this ending. But I did rate it 3.75 stars. Like, it makes me sad because the Hawthorne Legacy and The Final Gambit, I was like, I think it's going to be 5-star, because the Inheritance Scheme was the 5-star. It just couldn't live up to the hype. Next, I wanted to read a book that a lot of people talked about, and I was like, you know what, I want to understand what people are saying. So I feel like views on this book were very, very mixed. It was either like you love it, either you hate it, but my friends loved it. So I was like, okay, you know what, I'm probably gonna love it. And that's Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. This was my first Lucy Score book that I read. I liked it, but I feel like people are dumb, and it's like, why, like, we're 40, why are we acting like we're 18? That's my only complaint. I feel like that's what was like said online a lot. Like, the characters feel like kind of immature, but like in my head I was like, okay, you know, when we mention their age, I just aged them back like 10-15 years, and it makes sense and it works. So I feel like you consciously have to tell yourself, she is not 38, he's not 42, they're like 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. If you do that, I feel like it's fine and passes. I think I rated this 4 stars because I did like it, but like actively having to do that in my head, I was like, I don't want to have to do like age math in my head. I just want to be able to read and turn my thoughts off. I think this marks when you get into June, because I have 3 F1 romances, and the F1 is in my city. Well, this year it's changing, but normally the F1 is in Montreal in like mid-ish June. Now I forget why they're changing it, but I think they swapped the Monaco race with the Montreal race. So the dates where Monaco is normally, like, the dates of the regular Monaco race are when we have the Montreal race. That's what I remember from like looking at it like a while ago. But yeah, so June, so I did want to read my little F1 romances, and I finished the Dirty Air series. So I read Rex as well as Redeemed. Oh my god. Jax was never my favorite. Like, not that I didn't like Jax, but he was never my favorite out of the guys. But just reading his book, I was like, I have so much compassion for you, because I understand you, and just like seeing this other side of him and seeing his walls come down, I loved 4-star. And Elena, I loved Elena. And it's like, they both, oh my god, I just remembered, how do I say this without spoiling it? I just remembered the test, guys. And then Redeemed, Santi. I had no idea what was going to happen going into that book. At first, I was kind of disappointed that we don't really see the rest of the guys until like the epilogue at the end. I loved it. I loved Chloe. I loved Santi. I loved seeing Noah and Maya again. I loved the kid. It was just absolute perfection. 4.5 stars. The Dirty Air series, I love it so much. I cannot wait to read more by Lauren Asher, because generally I think she's like one of my favorite authors. And then to close off this little like F1, I guess, like segment of this video, we have Cross the Line Different by Simone Sultani. This one I wasn't really like in love with. Like, it was a good F1 romance, but I feel like coming out of the Dirty Air series, I was like, I don't know if you heard this, but my stomach just made like the funniest growl because I'm genuinely so hungry. So hopefully you did not just hear that, because I was like, oh wow, that was a noise. That was a noise. But anyways, I feel like coming out of the Dirty Air series, I was like, I want more out of my sport romances. That it was good, but I think I rated it 3.25 because I was like, I just had higher expectations. So I feel like it was like really me being like, okay, like I wanted more, but I still really liked it. The next book I picked up was the second book in the Rebel Blue Ranch series, which is Swift and Saddle by Lila Sage. I liked it, but I feel like I was kind of bored. I loved book one. I'm so excited for book 3, but I feel like book 2, it's like, I don't think that we needed it. It was kind of like, okay, like might as well do like this book while we're waiting to like create hype for book 3. I generally like these characters. I just didn't really buy the romance. I guess a little disappointing. So I think I rated this 3.25 because once again, I love all the characters. I was just like, it was not really doing it for me. I was on my like summer kick by now. So then the next book I picked up was The Summer Will Be Different by Carly Fortune. I feel like it's so funny because one Carly Fortune book I like, the other one I do not like. So I read This Summer Will Be, no, what's it called? It Happened One Summer. I read it, loved it. I read Meet Me at the Lake. I was like, I read This Summer Will Be Different and I loved it. Then I also read One Golden Summer and I was like, I don't like it. I am assuming that this year Carly Fortune's new release I will like, because it's like when I like, when I don't, when I like, when I don't. But yeah, so This Summer Will Be Different. The story is set in PEI, so I feel like it was the novelty of, okay, having it in a different location. One thing that I remember, the guy, I loved Felix so much. I don't know what it was, but he was just so much more likable. And oh my god, in One Golden Summer, we see Charlie again, like Charlie, the older brother. So you would assume, okay, like I would like it because I already know Charlie. I like Charlie. With discovering Felix in The Summer Will Be Different, I just liked Felix more. It was funner, it was more enjoyable. I don't know if it's because I had like expectations for One Golden Summer, but I generally did not like it. So The Summer Will Be Different, I rated 4.5. One Golden Summer, I rated 3 stars. But I know that her new release this year is set in, I think, in BC. So okay, novelty. I hope that I like it. We shall see, because the cover also, like, it's something so different than what she's like normally done. So fingers crossed, we will see. Guys, I'm going to talk about these two books together because kind of part of the same series. Oh my god, I have had these books on my shelf for so long, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to read them. I read Angels and Demons by Dan Brown, as well as The Da Vinci Code. Oh my god, 5-star both of them. You see how I tapped so much. And again, chunky books. I read them so fast because I genuinely loved it so much. Wow. No one that I follow online talks about him. Please go pick them up. Both 5 stars. Blew my mind. So like, I visited Paris like twice before, but I went back last November, and it's like seeing these monuments from the point of view of Dan Brown and like Robert Langdon, and like in the story, it's like, yeah, sure, like I might go to like Sacré-Cœur to like visit, but it's like going there knowing what happened in the Da Vinci Code, I'm like, oh my god, Da Vinci Code. Or it's like going to, I don't know, Saint-Sulpice, I was like, oh my god, Da Vinci Code, and I took a picture of the obelisk because I was like, Da Vinci Code. Literally seeing a city that I know through these eyes, I was like, oh my god, like wow, that I cannot wait till I read all the other books and go to those cities, because it was just, oh, it was so good. And then I watched the movies, and the movies were good, but the books are so much better. Like, everyone who told me that they watched the Da Vinci Code movie, I was like, go read the book, because the book is different, the book is so much better, and like, you're welcome. You are welcome. We have some more of the summer romances that I read this year. I did a video on like anticipated, a reading vlog on anticipated 2025 releases. So all of these I bought this year and I read this year, so I'm really proud of myself. We have Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This is like Taylor Jenkins Reid mixed with like NASA. Obviously I'm gonna love it. I rated it 4.75 stars because I feel like it was missing something. Like, it didn't give me the 5, it gave me very close to 5-star energy, but I was like, I can't give it a 5. It just doesn't feel right to give it a 5, but I gave it 4.75. So good. I loved it. I'm scared that this pile of books falls, so I'm gonna put it over here. Truly best thing ever. Then I read Till Summer Do Us Part by Megan Quinn, and I read Merry Christmas You Feel, no, that is the second book, my bad. I read How My Neighbor Stole Christmas, and I loved it. I loved Megan Quinn's writing style. So I was like, okay, you know what? She released this book. It sounds fun. fun, let me read it. And it was fun, but I feel like it didn't hit the same. I was also it was like a very busy time in my life, so I feel like not picking it up pretty often kind of like made me bored and like not actually want to read it. I think I rated it 3.25 stars. Like, it's beautiful and it has things that I thought that I would really like, and I feel like if I read it at a different point I would really enjoy it. I was just like super busy. I barely picked it up. Like, I think I went like 2 weeks without picking it up, so obviously I'm not gonna be like super invested. I'll be like, okay, like, I'm over this, I want to read something else. It had potential, but I feel like my life circumstances kind of like made me not enjoy it as much. After that, I picked up Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry, and this book reminded me so much of Taylor Jenkins Reid, and I gave this book to my mom to read, and she said The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and my mom said the exact same thing. This book, I liked it. I think I rated it like 4.25 stars. It was good. Like, I did like it better than Happy Place, but I did like Beach Read more, so I was like, 4 seemed like a great in between. I don't know if she's releasing a book this year, because I feel like I would have heard about it, so I was like, okay, it's good, I can like read book lovers and like funny story before her new book comes out. Emily Henry, great author. Sometimes her books hit and it's like the best thing ever. Other times it's like, it's good, but I'm kind of like, I guess, indifferent to it. This one, I was in between the like, yeah, it's average to it was good, so like, 4 stars. And then I read my first ever Abby Jimenez book. I rated this 4.5 stars. Oh my god, this was so good. I'm like, how have I never read an Abby Jimenez book like ever? I love this so much. The crazy thing about this is that it's kind of incel-lovey, but for some reason it worked and it was believable, and I hate that in other books like Meet Me at the Lake. That's why I hated it, but this, it just works. It's just so I loved it. I'm gonna start pairing the books in the series that I read together, so it makes more sense and it makes this video go a little bit faster, because I've been filming for a hot minute, so I was like, what, I do not want to have an hour-long video, so let's try to like wrap things up. I read towards the end of the year the last 2 books in the Adictic Calloway Sisters series, so Long Way Down and Some Kind of Perfect. As I mentioned before, I was like, these books were not hitting as much as like the previous first 5 books, and I did talk about it a lot in my Reading Adictic Calloway Part 2 series, but I have some very, very strong opinions for Some Kind of Perfect, because I feel like a lot did not need to happen, and I feel like it was a ploy to just like have more to say, because I truly get frustrated. I think Long Way Down, I rated it 3.5 stars, and then Some Kind of Perfect, I rated it 3. Do with that information which you will. If you want more details, go watch that video, because I loved seeing these characters again. I loved wrapping things up. I truly loved seeing them happy and solving their problems, but I also got very pissed off. I read the second book in the the Never After series, which is Scarred. I was so nervous going into Scarred, because I was like, okay, Hooked, I liked it, but I didn't like the female main character. I liked how in Scarred she had more of a personality, more of a backbone. I just didn't like the story, to be perfectly honest. Like, it was never the one that really intrigued me the most, and it's like Lion King, like, sure, whatever, but then also it's like, Hooked, obviously there's like some things that you can tell, it's like, okay, obviously I see the connection to the fairy tale. This, the only thing was that like the brother had like a scar on his face, and the other one like died being pushed off like a balcony, which is like close enough to the Lion King, but I don't know, like, wasn't really a fan. I rated 3 stars. Like, I will be continuing the series. Just this book, I was like, it was okay, but it wasn't like wow. I also read the third book in the Palm South University series, which is Pledge. So this is a book where you follow like I think 2 frat guys and 4 sorority girls. So fun, like you're watching a TV show. I rated this like 4 stars. It's like a guilty pleasure read. Like, you go in, you have everyone's point of view, and everyone has like their drama, their crazy drama, their problems, and it's just a fun little cozy read, especially since I was in a sorority. Like, obviously it's completely different to what these characters are living, but it's cozy. I mean, I wouldn't qualify it as cozy, but I find it cozy and really, really fun. And then after that, I read a series that I said that I'd be reading, like I would start forever. I've been saying that I'm gonna read it. I have all 3 books, I have to. And guys, I finally read The Cruel Prince, okay, but not just that, The Wicked King also. Oh my god, I understand the hype. It is so good. I love it. I'm like, why did I not start reading this sooner? Absolute perfection. I think I rated both 4 stars. I am so intrigued to see how the series ends. I was always so confused with like the title, The Queen of Nothing. And when I realized why it's called The Queen of Nothing and how The Wicked King ends, oh, I was mad. I was pissed, but in the best way possible. Wow. inexcusable. But then also how the first book ended, it was like inexcusable from the other point of view, that it's like revenge and payback, which is, it's just so good. This year, I read The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. I feel like people were talking a lot about it, like, back in the day, and Evan was like, you don't really know what's happening, like, you're kind of confused, but it's, like, a beautiful story, and it's, like, the setting and everything that's, like, majestic and beautiful, which, like, yes, I love, but I feel like, you know, you start off the story, and you're like, okay, there's this competition, and, like, I'm kind of confused on what it's about, but that's fine, that's normal. But then even at the end, I'm like, well, what was the point? I read maybe, what, like, almost 500 pages, or, like, 450 pages, but, like, what was the point? I really liked the atmosphere, but in terms of plot, I was like, it's like, why should I care? For lack of a better word, it's like, why should I care? I feel like this is just like talking into the void. Like, I think I rated it 3.5 stars because I did like the atmosphere. Like, I loved the build up and everything, but it's like, I kind of expected more because it's like, okay, well, this feels like a cop out. So I rated it 3.5 stars. And then, well, okay, we have one more like little series that I finished, and then we have the Christmas books. I finished the Devil's Night series by reading Nightfall, and then actually my last book of 2025 was Fire Night. I'm saying goodbye to these characters. I'm ending 2025 with these characters. It feels crazy. I don't know, because reading Nightfall, I was like, I kind of like detached from this because I started the series so long ago, but then reading Fire Night and seeing everyone together, getting everyone's point of view, I was like, well, now I kind of miss these characters, you know? So Nightfall, I think I rated it 3.5 stars, and then Fire Night, I think I rated it 4 because I did like it. I found it really, really enjoyable. It was like 100 pages, but you know, the story, I was like, I sat down in one sitting and read it all because I was actually like invested. You know, would I read more Penelope Douglas? I do not know. We'll really have to see, because I feel like it's not an author that, you know, it's like, I'd rather read something else than read her. But if there's a good book that, like, you know, a book with like a good premise that comes out, you know, I would love to read it. So yeah, let's go into like the 3 Christmas books to close up this video. I read one of those like advent calendar romances. We have Secret Santa by Sophie Germain. Was the story great? Meh. It was average. I think I rated it 3.5 stars, but just like the aspects of like ripping a page open every single day and like going through it, I found that so much fun. So I definitely will be buying another one next year. You know, it's a Christmas romance. I'm not like expecting the story to be absolutely amazing. And it's like, you know, it has to be enough that you can like do it in the, I guess, like format of a Christmas advent calendar. So no complaints. Like, obviously I knew it wasn't gonna be wow, but I really enjoyed my time. I read my first ever Christmas horror called 25 Days. It was so good. I was so sick at some point, so disgustingly sick, that I was like, I don't want to read the other book that I'm reading. I just want to read something fast. And I just sat down, I read this, I flew through it, and it was great. I rated it 4 stars. Like, the author kind of talks about how he ended the story, and I kind of liked it. Like, I know that some people might be annoyed about the ending, but I thought it was perfectly fine. You know, like, did I go in expecting a whole entire backstory? No. I just heard thriller, and I was pretty like shocked by what I read, but I thought it was great. I had a fun time. And the last Christmas book is Love Light Farms by BK Borison. So this book, I actually bought it when I was in France, so it has like a cute little meaning for me. Oh my god, it was so good. It was so good. I love the Friends to Lovers. It was such a believable romance. I fell in love. Just so perfect. Warms my heart. I rated it 4.5 stars. Truly one of the best Christmas books I've ever read, and I cannot wait to read the rest of the series. And I saw that BK Borison, she came out with another book from like another duology, and she has a book coming out maybe April, so I want to read her entire backlist. And I know the rest of the Love Light Farms series follows like characters who we see here, and I already know who book 2 is about, at least for Beckett or Bennett, I think Beckett, and for Layla, I know who they're going to be paired with, and I'm so excited. I cannot wait. But yeah, those are the 45 books that I read this year. Let me know what books you read. Let me know your favorites, your least favorites. Let me know what was 5 stars. I think that going into 2026, I'm gonna set the goal once again of reading 75 books. If it happens, great. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. You know, like this year I put 75. I was like, I cannot do this. Reduced it to 40. I was like, okay, you know, I'm passing 40. Did 45. I hit 45. So it's not like a very fixed high goal. It's like a loose goal that I can like move around. Yeah, we're actually gonna try to get 75 books read this year, because that basically would cover my entire physical TBR. So that's amazing, you know. And oh, by the way, since I mentioned this in my January December TBR, I said if I have not read Throne of Glass by the end of this year, literally unsubscribe. I have not finished it, but I started reading Throne of Glass, so I'm not going to talk about it now. I'm going to talk about it in January much more in depth, and I am bringing out a reading vlog on the entire series. As I'm filming this video right now, I am halfway through Crown of Midnight, so it has happened. I'm hooked. I'm obsessed. I wish that I could have finish the year with Throne of Glass, but unfortunately I could not. But I love. So you see, I keep my promises. I read The Cruel Prince. I wanted to finish it, but then I was like, you know what? I would rather start Throne of Glass, and I'm so happy I did. And you know, 2026, hopefully, who knows, we can maybe read Throne of Glass and ACOTAR. I'd be very surprised, but that'll be great. Putting it out there in the universe, I'm manifesting it. So if you guys enjoyed today's video, definitely hit the subscribe button down below and leave a thumbs up so I know that you like these like end of year videos. I saw Larry Reed's doing a video on this like beginning of the year book tag, and she did like an end of the year book tag. Like, I did not watch the video, but I'd be interested to do a beginning of the year book tag. I have no idea what the questions are, but if that's something that you would like, you know, you'd want to see, I'd probably bring it out in like February because I have like so many other things planned for January. I'm open to fitting it into my schedule if you do want to see it. Also, if you want to go check me out a little bit elsewhere, I always say I have my TikTok, but honestly, I was debating making shorts that are very like, you know, tailored around my content, that it's like I don't have to sit down and film a full video on it, and it's like if I do, it's gonna be like a 10-minute video where like it makes more sense to like just do a short. So, you know, I'm gonna still be promoting my TikTok just in case, but I feel like most of the things I would like post on my like YouTube shorts if I decide to do it. But anyways, just in case I do, my TikTok, my Goodreads, and my Instagram are all linked down below if you want to go check me out over there. I need to go put all these books away. I don't want to. My room was clean. It was beautiful, and it's gonna be books everywhere, but whatever, it's okay. So I'm gonna go do that, but stay safe, protect your vibe, and I'll see you all next time. Bye guys.